We got Wednesday, June 25th, 2025. Okay. Topic of the day. Because I just had a pretty inspirational conversation this morning that inspired me to think about this idea. And I already had been kind of thinking about this idea, but the inspiration led me further to tell you, if you're trying to play baseball in college, if that's a goal, right? If you're in high school and you want to play baseball in college, then you need to move in that direction based off building yourself, okay? You need to build yourself up. And I'd imagine not a lot of people say out the gate they want to go D3. Not a lot of people out the gate want to say, honestly, maybe even D2 and Juco. A lot of people say, I want to go D1 out of high school, right? I want to go play D1. I said that. I said I want to go play D1. I was a D1 or bust guy. And I went Juco, quit Juco, and ended up being D3 and became All-American at D3, right? So what it's not about is chasing something other than building yourself, right? I made a video this morning. It's not about getting better stats. It's about building your skills. You can't hide bad skills behind good numbers. You can't hide average skill behind good numbers, okay? So if that's the case, right, and I'll explain this from my lens, okay? I moved to New York I moved to Buffalo, New York, going into my junior year of high school, and I was 16 at the time, 16, right? I had already been playing down south against kids who were throwing 85 miles an hour. I had seen that on a quite regular basis. And I move up to Buffalo, New York, where baseball is a step behind. Granted, that's just the nature of the environment. But guys in high school most of them weren't throwing harder than 80. And the few that I saw were really good baseball players. Shout out a kid named Max Giordano. Okay? But I was able to hit almost 500 my junior year of high school and almost pretty much 400 my senior year of high school. And that was just because it was a step easier than how hard I'd been training down south, the type of velocity I was exposed to down south. That was a result of just that alone. It wasn't because I'd always worked kind of hard, but it wasn't because I worked that hard on my skills. It was a result of the baseball being a step easier here in Buffalo, New York than it is in 912 Georgia down south. Okay? So that is showing how you can hide behind numbers. You yourself can hide behind numbers, but your skills get exposed. Okay? That's why when I would go to a PBR showcase, I would get exposed. And I had pretty good numbers. Like, I could hit a ball hard, right? I wasn't the fastest. I could throw a ball decent, okay? Like, I didn't throw hard, right? So, I wasn't a crazy numbers guy. But then I would face these guys at these showcases who would throw 85, 2 pitches, and they would challenge you on both sides of the plate, right? And I would get exposed. And I would have D1 schools that I was talking to come and watch me, and I would get exposed, right? The numbers from high school season, they might get a coach to come watch you, okay? That's probably what those numbers will do for you. They'll get a coach to come watch you. You get some notoriety, okay? You might get some, little... razz to your name a little bit off the numbers you had in high school. But then you go play travel ball, and travel ball is the best of the best. And it's the best of the best based off where you are geographically, but still it's the best of the best. And I got exposed. when I was, a junior, senior in high school, when I moved up here to Buffalo, New York, and I'd go play those better kids with the D1 schools that I wanted to go to come and watch me. I got exposed. So, where does that lead me? Okay? I didn't realize at the time that I need to build skills, not just impress people. Like, you think you just need to impress people. You think that if you hit good enough, if you go 3 for 3 in one game, that can get you a scholarship, and that could very much get you an opportunity. But if you build the skills, everything else comes as a result of that, as a byproduct of that. If you work on the skills, you will get where you want to be. But you need to ask yourself, can I hit the velocity of the level I want to go at? Let's say D1. Everyone wants to go D1. Can I hit D1 velocity? I mean, you watch these guys on TV and they're power 5, but they throw 90s plus. Some guys throw high 90s. Can I hit that pitching? Now, you want to say like average D1 arm, right? Well, if you're facing a conference starter, you're probably going to see guys who are throwing 90. If you play in a midweek game and it's not a conference game, you're going to see guys who throw at minimum 85 plus, and I might be generous with that because I didn't even play D1. I'm just making a guess, right? Can I hit that pitching? Now, you might be able to hit it off a hack attack, but hitting velocity off a hack attack just helps. It doesn't mean you can do it. So ask yourself, can I hit the velocity at the level I want to play at? Am I fast enough to play at the level I want to play at? Now, you got to understand, there's stipulations to playing D1. And we're just using D1 as an example. There's stipulations at every level. But if you want to play D1, there's stipulations. If you want to play outfield in D1, I'm sure most schools have a marker on a 60 time that you have to hit. And I'm sure it's probably at least 7. You probably have to hit the ball crazy to run a 7 flat and play outfield at D1 level. That's probably the ceiling for how slow you can be. Because 7's not even fast. There's kids that are burning 6'4", 6'5" now. Okay? So, are you fast enough to play at the level? Are you strong enough to play at the level? Okay? Are you strong enough to play D1 baseball? Because whether you know it or not, you work out in college, at a D1 level, it is probably rigorous. Like I said, I didn't play D1. I worked out pretty rigorously myself, but I know I have buddies, I've seen programs post their trainings at D1 level. You train hard, and if you can't train as hard as they train, then you're just going to be trying to play catch up on the training. You're going to be so sore that you're not even going to be able to play your best. You're going to be catching up on the training. The coaches are going to see that you're not on par with the type of training they do. You're not even going to get the chance on the field because they think they need to build you up physically before you can even get the opportunity. Right? So are you strong enough to play at the level? Are you fast enough to play at the level? Can you hit the velocity at the level? Those are like 3 big questions you can ask yourself, okay? And those are skill sets that you need to build, and that needs to be the focus. The focus doesn't need to be going 3 for 3 in a game. And honestly, that's a whole nother conversation because it's not about the hits. It's about the process. It's not about the stats. It's about the process. And the process builds your skills. And the skills are things you actually have as a player. And those create results that you can, fortify yourself and be a complete player. If you have the skills, you will get the numbers. And if you have the skills and you have the numbers, you will play and get where you want to go. But that comes with working on your skills. Skill set over stats. Skill set over stats. And what you need to realize is you can't hide behind numbers. Your skills will get exposed when the time comes. You might be able to maneuver your way through certain games, certain tournaments, but when the lights shine the brightest and you're trying to play well in front of a school that has come to a game because you emailed them and they've come to watch you on this day. That's when it matters. And if you cannot play how you want to play in that situation, you're not meant for it yet. And the good thing about it is you can become ready for it, but that's what you train for. You train for that opportunity because you want to play D1. You want to play D2. You might want to play at a really good Juco. You email the coach. The coach said he's going to come to this game on this day, and you come to the field that day. That's what you train for. You train for opportunities like that. And then look, you play well. That coach says that, you can come on a visit. Okay, you go on a visit, the visit goes well. Okay, he comes in one more game and you train for that and you play well again. He offers you a scholarship. Okay, those are the opportunities we train for. Now you're on the team. Now you're on this said D1 team. Now you have to prove that you can play. So you train and physically and with your skill, and you get the opportunity to showcase your ability at practice. And you do. And the coach lets you start one game. And then you play well. And then you start. And then once you start, that's where the real mastery comes into play. And you have the ability, the opportunity to master. But those opportunities come one at a time, and there's space in between those, time in between those. But that's what you play for, to get better, to play for higher stakes. At least if you're a competitor, if you're someone that wants to get better. Okay? This is like 12 minutes of dense mental game. Like if you want to play at a high level in college, at any level, this is something you should listen to, think about. Build your skill set. Undiscovered prospects. Discover yourself so the world can discover who you are. Thomas Evans, Coach Red, peace.